All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Patreon Picks. This is where my patrons pick out two random bottles in my collection. My wife pours them up for me blind. We're going to try them out. We're going to try and guess what they are. We're going to tell you which one we like better. And the best part about this, over 275 bottles behind me. This could be any single one. Everybody knows before we get started, time for the traditional sip. Cheers, y'all. Hot. Let me grab some paper, let me take some notes. We'll try and guess proof, maybe a distillery if we're really good, and we can guess like, I don't know, mash bills, something like that. Tastes like some rye in that. So I'm gonna say that this one, we'll call this glass A, is a rye bourbon. I don't think it's a rye whiskey, but I do think it's a higher rye mash bill. When it comes to the bourbon side of things, let's take one more sip on this. Now, proof on these is going to be tough because this is my first sip of whiskey here in January. It's January 27th, and I gotta tell you, I don't think that this is as high proof as I currently think it is because I haven't drank any whiskey for 27 days, and that does affect your palate, especially when you're used to drinking 120 proof whiskey 3, 4, 5 times a week when you're doing these reviews. So I thought it was like 120 to start. I'm going to get into this a little bit further before I try and guess proof, and let's go over to this glass over here. I'm hoping this is another good one because this is actually really good. A lot less spice on that, which I do enjoy. I like a sweeter whiskey, but I also feel like a little bit less complex. This does taste a little bit softer when it comes to the proof, so I will say this is the higher proof one, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like a wheated whiskey, but maybe a lower rye mash bill or something like that. The only trouble, I usually use other glasses when I do this that has a pour line on this. We don't have a lot to work with, so let's see what we can do. I feel like overall I like the flavor profile on this one better, but I do feel like this is giving me more of an experience when it comes to drinking it. Like I said, all the flavors in this are very good. They just seem a little bit quiet, where this one, it kind of punches in the face, whether it's that rye spice, that kick in the middle, a little bit of age on the end of this, maybe like a little bit of an oak presence, but still a good sweetness on this, which I do like. This is giving me everything I love about whiskey, while this one is giving me what I do love about whiskey, just not enough of it. So this one's going to be different. This glass over here feels familiar. It feels like something that I've drank before, and I know I'm saying that with every single bottle open in my collection behind me, but what I mean is it's something that I've enjoyed before, something that I've tried over and over again. It doesn't feel like something I've only had once. While this glass over here, I don't want to say that it's unfamiliar. It does still feel like a traditional type of bourbon, but it's not something that I can put my finger on to exactly what it is. I think this is the fun part about doing these blinds is one, I have no idea what this is. I mean, obviously I can guess 1 out of 275 plus bottles, but I'm not going to be able to do that. 2, it really shows you the complexity of one glass compared to another. Both of these I probably loved at one point. Both of these I have probably told you that they are very good glasses of whiskey, but now side by side, no matter what these are, we're going to find out that this glass is something that I enjoy more than this glass, and I think it's pretty substantial too. I don't think, again, this is a bad glass of whiskey, but I do think that it just doesn't stand up to whatever's in this glass. And the last thing we'll talk about today is proof. I still have no idea. It's just been so long. I don't know if I can guess proof. Now again, since I haven't drank so long, I do think these are drinking a little bit hotter than they should. I think this is around 110, and I think this is a little bit lower. So I'm gonna say like 110, maybe 112. This is more like 105 to 107. So 110 to 112, 105 to 107. I do think this drinks a little bit easier, but I do think this is the more complex glass. This is the more well-balanced glass that I do enjoy a little bit more than the other one. Let's finish these up though, and we'll give you a final reveal. Before we do that, there's like a grainy note on this, like a cereally note, which I don't absolutely love, and it kind of popped out here at the end of the glass. Again, it's nothing that, like, I really had to go searching for that note, and that's kind of what I was doing at the end of this. Nose-wise, I know people like nosings. This one pops out of the glass. Same way that the flavor pops out of the glass when you drink it, you don't really have an option to not nose this. The second it comes up for a sip, you can already smell it. This one over here, I mean, the nose is pretty good on this one. I feel like I get a nose that's not quite the same as what I was getting on the glass. I feel like I get more fruit notes on this and more like an apple, like a Granny Smith, like a crisp apple. when it comes to the nose on this compared to this one. So both noses are good. I do think this one would win when it comes to like, if I was straight up going to pick one off the nose, but I don't really like to do that because we're drinking the whiskey. We're not just nosing it, but this one definitely wins when it comes to the taste. I'm very curious what these two glasses are. I've got to give you a score though on these, and that's going to be the hardest part. For this glass over here, and obviously we're going strictly off taste because we don't know the proof on this, we don't know the price on this, I'm going to say that this is like a $60 to $65 bottle. That's about what I think this bottle would come in at, and I'm going to give it an 8.2. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's anything crazy or exceptional, but an 8.2, and I think it's like a $60 to $65 bottle. I don't know if I would pay much more than that. Let's get into this one right here. This one, we're definitely going to drop a little bit lower. I'm going to go like 7.4 on this one, and I'm going to say that this is probably like a $35 to $40 bottle, and I think that's even pushing the high point. I think it probably is about that price, but maybe I would only think about it to be a little bit lower. So that's what we've got. We've got a higher rye content bourbon at 110 to 112 proof. I gave it an 8.2. I think it's pretty good, and I think it's worth about $60 to $65. While I have a lower proof, maybe 105 to 107, that last sip I might even be saying it's still too high at 105 to 107. I gave it a 7.4, and I think it's like a $35, maybe $40 bottle. Maybe this is something within the same distillery, and this is like a higher end version of this. Maybe this is, I don't know, like a rare breed versus like a Russell's 10-year, something like that. I don't know though. Let's find out what it is. You guys probably already know what it is the way I edit this, but if you want to be a part of this, if you want to do your own picks for me to do on this channel, check out our Patreon page. That link in the description below, patreon.com/bourbon of the week. Let's find out what it is. This is always the scariest part. Did I mess up or was I right? This is from a Hoseman 32, by the way. The Bourbon of the Week glass, BOTW glass, was Knob Creek 15-year, which isn't my favorite. If anybody knows me, I don't love the 15-year when it comes to the Knob Creek. I think the 12-year is perfect. I don't know why they mess with any of it. Versus Remus Repeal Reserve. Now, the real question is, I think I have two of them back here. Which one did she pick? So I do believe I only have the one Remus Repeal, and this is Remus Repeal Reserve. This is number 5, which I absolutely loved. This was some of the older stuff coming out of MGP at the time. 2005 bourbon, 21% rye. 2006 bourbon, 36% rye. 2006 bourbon, 21% rye. 2008 bourbon, 21% rye. And 2008 bourbon, 36% rye. So, I mean, we're talking higher rye content for sure. Wait, Bourbon of the Week glass, right? Yes, that was this one. So definitely a higher rye content when it comes to this. This was a really good bottle, but again, I think this was some older whiskey because this was like a special release when it came to the Remus 5. I absolutely loved this bottle, and an 8.2 seems like a fair spot for this. I forget the price on this. Let me look that up real quick. This bottle is $90, so I said 60 to 65, 90 bucks. I mean, again, this is some MGP juice, and it was a little bit older, so it's a special release. Of course, they're going to charge a little bit more, but not too shabby when it came to the price. This one, I said, was 105 to 107 proof. These are both 100 proof, by the way, so I was way off on proof, 110 to 112. Again, I haven't drank in so long that these all sip top for me. This was 100 proof as well, and this one, I gave it a 7.4, and I said $35 to $40, and this is a $100 bottle of whiskey. But again, the Knob Creek 15 wasn't my favorite. I don't like the 18. I don't like the 15. I love the 12. The 9 has its spot, but these two up against each other was a lot of fun. I'm glad this one won and came out on top because that's the way I think I should have picked it. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure 77, 13, 10 when it comes to Knob Creek, which means this is 13% rye, which is definitely less rye than 21, 36, 21, 21, and 36. So definitely the higher rye bourbon versus the non-high. I mean, I don't think I was too far off. Other than proof, which we will hone in as we start to drink a little bit more again. Other than that, I think I got everything right minus price. But again, I don't think this is worth $100. You guys can let me know in the comment section below if you do. But hey, shout out Hoseman32 for putting this blind together for me. Shout out my wife for pouring it up for me. And shout out you guys for watching this long. If you like this type of content, make sure you click that like and subscribe button so I can keep bringing it to you. And if you want to do one of these picks for me, check out our Patreon page. That link in the description below. Check me out on Instagram. Go click that follow button over there. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly. Stay healthy, stay happy. And stay doing blinds. I promise you, it's the best way to find out what you truly like without the name attached. Cheers, y'all. Not bad.